Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2020 and welcome to episode 7 of our Neofly series. I'm standing here at Buffalo Airport in the Masai Mara, Kenya, trying to decide if that rain is getting closer, which I think it very slowly is. So we should probably try and get out of here as quickly as possible. If you watched episode 6, we're up in the Masai Mara and I'm looking at kind of setting up a bit of a route network here, flying passengers in and out of the little airstrips at the game lodges in the Masai Mara. So in episode 6, we did a bit of a tour in the Kodiak to decide which airports we were going to fly to, and most importantly, trying to find an airport that we could base our little operation out of, because we're going to be having the bulk of the passengers arriving by airliner into Kilimanjaro Airport, and then we're going to bring them out to some of these smaller airstrips. Now, I think what I'm going to do is kind of get cracking here, and then we can talk a bit more about that as we go, because dodging little storm cells like this in the Masai Mara is pretty standard operations. But for today, I have actually created a little route network, so that's what we're going to be checking out, and we're going to be flying some of those passengers around today. But I've set up some of our routes with a very, very interesting aircraft, and that's what we're going to be flying today. So if we go and do a bit of a walk around, this is the Britten-Norman Trilander. So it's an Islander with like a third engine up on the tail, which is kind of interesting. It's a very cool looking aircraft, I must say. But we've got two of these. We've also got two standard Islanders, and this one's all open, and we're all loaded up and pretty much ready to go here. We're just waiting for the passengers to arrive and board. But what a kind of strange aircraft. It's like a super long, thin pencil with just kind of two seats, or two rows of seats, and then the three engines. From what I can tell from this aircraft as well, it's pretty underpowered. This is the long nose version. You also get a short nose version, which is just as interesting. It doesn't have this little cargo place in the front here, but that's definitely getting closer. So I think we should jump aboard the aircraft, and then we can start making our way out. I think today we are going to Mara Serena. We're taking 16 passengers today. So we're going to start getting set up before that weather gets in here. So let's go ahead and just close all of the doors in case it does start raining. Right, we're taking 17 passengers from here at Mara Buffalo down to Mara Serena. So yeah, at the end of episode 6, I thought I was going to base most of my operations out of Angama, but that didn't end up happening because these islanders and the Trilanders and the Islanders seem to be kind of underpowered, and because of the trees around Angama, that's where we ended in the Kodiak. Because of the trees around there, it's really difficult to actually get these aircraft in and out of that airport. So I've moved my base of operations. We've kind of got two. So we've got a bit of a base here at Buffalo, where a lot of our passengers come in and out. And then we've also got a base at Musiara as well, which is HK48. We're going to be going there a bit later in the video too. And that's where the Britten-Normans are mostly based. We do still fly in and out of Angama, but just using the Kodiak, because the Kodiaks...
Clear prop!
They get in and out of that airport way easier. Right, fuel's on. That's all set. We've got our lights on. Everything seems to be clear. That rain is definitely getting closer. Right, now that we've got power to the aircraft, we're going to get our passengers boarding.
Are being completed, and the captain will order for the doors of the aircraft to close in approximately 5 minutes time.
Okay, so while we're waiting for the passengers
Ladies
to
and
finish
gentlemen,
boarding,
welcome on board. As you find your seat, may we request that you place large items in the overhead compartments and smaller sized belongings, including duty-free bags and liquids, under the seat in front of you. Our cabin crew are available to assist.
Hello everyone, thank you for your attention. It's time to get you ready for takeoff.
right, so we're going from Mara Buffalo. Very simple.
We know you
Today
have
over to HK0A.
so happy to be your airline. Now if you'll just follow along with me, we'll be on our way.
Which is Morris Arena. Right, that's it. I mean, it's a very short flight. It's only 17 miles. So no waypoints in between. And as soon as we have our passengers on board, we will be good to go. Okay, that's all set. Cool, sounds like they've done boarding. Yeah, we are full up today. So it's gonna be nice and heavy getting out here. Let's close the doors. Nav lights, beacon lights are on. Let's turn on the external supply. The mixture's in. Crack the throttles a bit so the engines don't die, and we can go ahead and start up. Right, that rain is definitely getting closer, so we want to get out of here as soon as possible.
You're good to go. Contact the tower for clearance.
Right, we can get some flaps in. And let's get out of here. Yeah, release the parking brake. Let's go. Props full. Not sure why we have this gyro fail button. Not button, light. Oh, actually, I do know why. It's because I need to turn this off. No, I thought it's because I didn't switch the generators on, but they are on. We've got suction. Maybe it's just because we haven't throttled up enough. Okay, let's just do landing lights and strobes. Keep an eye on that. Right, looks like the rain's starting to come in over the airport on the other end. Ah, I know why. It's because this is completely out of sync with our compass, so we should fix that just now. Right, I probably should have not wasted so much runway. Okay, we need to go to the right. Going out that way. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna go around this storm cell. Right, and keep the engines up so we don't lose them. Right, let's go full throttle. And here we go. Nice crosswind. Bit of rain on the windshield already. Very nice crosswind.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign will be switched off shortly. We recommend, however, that you keep your seatbelt loosely fastened at all times during the flight. If you are using a blanket, we kindly ask that you fasten your seatbelt or your blanket so it is visible to the cabin crew. Our in-flight meal service will begin shortly with lunch, followed later in the flight. Please refer to your personal menu cards for more details. If there is anything that we can do to make your flight more comfortable, please feel free to let us know. Thank you.
Okay, another interesting thing about this aircraft is fixed gear. So gear's going to be hanging out for the entire flight, which doesn't help when it comes to the climb performance. Right, we've got to head out that way somehow. Like, not quite all the way out there, so we should be fine just skirting around the edge of this weather. We're doing a massive 500 feet per minute climb, so like I said, when this thing is heavy, it's not the best climber. Right, that should make our lives a little easier. I wonder if that's actually being affected by our gyro issue, because now that's showing us going completely in the wrong direction, which is because we need to go out this way. Oh, I was just looking at... Never mind. The GPS is fine. I'm a bit slow today. Okay, so we've got about 7.5 minutes to go out to Morris Arena. We'll stay at about 7,500 feet here. Let's bring the props back a little bit. Okay, looks like we've got some rain out ahead of us as well. Coming back in here later on might not be possible. Okay, let's fix this issue while we're here. Right, that's sorted at least. Okay, keep it around 7,500. We'll make our way here out to Morris Arena. So, like I said, just off to our left on top of the ridge, to our right, top of the ridge here is Angama. The island is simply because of the high trees and that around the airport, just could not get, they could get in fine, but getting out was a real issue, especially with any significant kind of passenger or cargo load. So basing the islanders out of where we just came from at Buffalo, doing some regional airline flights between there and the other small airports around here. So we've got the one we're kind of flying over shortly, it's just down here. And then the one we're going to, which is Morris Arena, which is HK0A. So we've got HKKH, which is just out there. We've got HK48, which we're pretty much going to fly over, which is down here. And then we've got HK0A, which is the furthest, which is just other side there towards where the rain is. That's where we're going now. And for those, we're flying the kind of lodge passengers out from Kilimanjaro Airport. So they come in from Durban and Cape Town on the 737s and possibly A320s. There's one of our airstrips over there. But at the moment, I've got just one leased 737 that brings them in from Durban and Cape Town. And from there, they come out to this airport underneath us. Oh, sorry, not HK48. They go out to Buffalo. I'm just trying to remember the whole network. They go out to Buffalo, where we've just come from. Here's the other one here. This is HK48. They go out to Buffalo or out to the airport we're going to now, depending on which lodge they're going to. But they come through on a Dash 7. So I've got two Dash 7s, which are operating from Kilimanjaro out to various bigger lodge airports. And then from the Dash 7 flights, they get spread around using the Trilanders, Islanders, and the Kodiak to kind of spread them out to these little lodges. So that's a kind of quick overview of the route network that we've got. Aside from that, way out to our right hand side, past that ridge line, a good half an hour's flight roughly from where we are now, is the city of Migori. And we've also got operations out there to bring in some of the staff that work at the lodges and some supplies. So we have a Caribou, so the de Havilland DHC-4 Caribou, which flies cargo between these little lodges that we're flying into now and Kilimanjaro, and also Migori, depending on where stuff needs to go. The Dash 7s can also fly cargo if needed, so they go out to Migori every now and then as well to bring back passengers, which is mostly staff for the lodges, and also some equipment and supplies and things like that. So I think what we're going to do today is we'll visit most of these little lodges out here. The next thing I want to do is start setting up helicopter routes in this area as well, because we can fly into some of the little helipads along the river there. But we're already descending to make our approach into Mara, or Mara Serena, which is actually just over there. So normally what I do is we'll fly along the river here down past the ridge line and bring it in there. Hopefully we can get in before the weather off, just off to the left. Hopefully that's not moving towards the airport. But this is kind of par for the course when it comes to flying out here in the Mara. It's just dodging these little patches of weather. Right, so we'll take the Trilander to a couple of these little airports. In future episodes, I'm keen to show some flying in the Caribou, doing some cargo runs out here. Same with the Dash 7s. I know in episode 6 I said I wanted to get the MU2 to operate in or out of these airports, and I did some tests, and it just it couldn't take off from these airstrips. They're just too short. So we had to kind of scrap the idea of the MU2, which is what I thought was going to happen. By the time we got to the end of that episode, kind of accepted that we were probably going to be ditching the MU2 idea, just because of the length of these runways. But the Islanders and the Kodiak obviously is perfect for operating in and out here. It's obviously quite windy because I don't normally overshoot that easily. So I quite like the Trilander because it's got a pretty high seat count. There's 16 seats on this aircraft for an aircraft of this size, which is pretty cool. The normal Islanders, the two-engine Islanders, are only 8. So the Kodiak is actually probably a better option than the standard Islanders.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and the seatbelt sign has been turned off.
Because the Kodiak seats 9. The other thing is, there's some giraffe out there.
Designated area.
The thing is, the Islanders are piston powered, not turbo, so they do produce significantly less power than something like the Kodiak. But they're a cool aircraft to fly, so the other thing I might actually look at doing is picking up a cargo version of the Trilander to fly some of the smaller cargo runs between like here and Migori, so maybe you can go a bit more often than the Dash 7s, which kind of go once every couple of days. But we'll see how that goes. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to drop off our 16 passengers here and see if we can get out before this weather. So far, I have not yet had to actually divert. But I have a feeling now that I've said that. That is something that we might have to do in this episode. Oh, there's rain appearing on the windshield already.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off. Please
even know
ensure
if this
that you
has
have
a
all your
seatbelt
personal
sign.
belongings with you as you leave the aircraft. Also remember that smoking is only permitted in designated areas of the airport. You may now use your mobile and electronic devices if you wish to do so. Thank you and good afternoon.
Okay, we will let our passengers disembark. And let's have a look at what we're going to be doing next here. I'm actually not too stressed about taking off in the rain, because I know we can get out of that cell pretty quickly. Oh wow, it's bad on that side as well. But obviously, if we can't see, we can't land, so that's going to be the bigger issue. What we'll probably do is do some trips around the Mara in the Trilander, and then possibly finish off by flying back out to Kilimanjaro. I think we'll probably do all of the flying in the Islander today.
Transporter from dispatch.
Two-
Disembarkation completed. Thank you.
The two Dash
See you
7s
soon for
are
another
out
mission.
on flights, so one's actually at Entebbe
You
at
are
the
clear
moment.
to
The other
start your
one's
engine.
flying somewhere in between Zanzibar and Kilimanjaro, so they're out working. But yeah, okay, the rain is really picking up now, so let's see where we're going from here. So we have a bunch of passengers that want to go back to Kilimanjaro. We're not going to do that yet because that's about an hour's flight, maybe less, 40 minutes. We've got obviously passengers that want to go back to where we just came from. Which is probably going to be what we're doing. No, there's not that many options. We also have some cargo that needs to go back where we just came from. Where is this? There's some staff that need to go out to Migori. Maybe we should do that. Get them out of here before the storm kicks in and they get stuck. Let's do that.
Transporter from dispatch. The passengers for the concert are waiting for you at the boarding parking.
Apparently they're going to a
We've
concert.
opened the gates for boarding. The passengers are on their way.
Okay, we've still got quite a lot of space left, so what I'm going to do is fill up with cargo that we'll take from Migori back to Buffalo, where we just took off from. And then from there, we'll pick up some more of our passengers to distribute out to HK48 probably is the next one to visit. So let's see, I think there was some cargo. Oh no, there's
Looks like everyone is on board, pilot. Let's
more
get
passengers.
out
It's not cargo, so we've got some passengers to go back to Buffalo. So we'll load them up as well.
of here. Greetings from the tower. We have a number of passengers that need assistance to board. Please confirm you are ready to receive them. Pilot from dispatch. Boarding passenger. Please stand by.
Okay, so let's just flip our flight plan around because we're ending up at Buffalo anyway. And then in between, we'll slot in. It is, what is the thing? It's HKMM is Midori. Okay, weather definitely closing in. We might actually have to wait a little bit here. Let's see what it looks like.
Everything is on.
Okay, that looks good. We can get out that way. Let's get going. Okay, close the doors. External supply on. We've got all three coming up, and that's not in the yellow, so we don't have to worry about carb icing. Our gyro is drifted again for some reason. Right, this is going to be interesting. So we're heading out that way. Right, once we line up here, we're gonna have to kind of decide. We're also gonna be taking off with quite a tailwind. This is probably not the best idea. We can't take off this way. It's not enough clear space. We want to head out there. We might actually end up waiting here for a bit. I'll taxi out to the end and see what it looks like. Welcome to the weather in Africa, where it changes that quickly. And I mean, when I say wait, we'll probably have to wait less than 10 minutes and be out of this storm. It does look kind of thick over there, but if you look there, we can already start seeing a little bit of clear through the sky there. Okay, might as well fix this while we're going perfectly west. Okay, so biggest concerns here, number one is that if we have to abort the takeoff, we're not going to be able to slow down on this wet dirt runway. Number two is taking off, getting up in the air and then not being able to see anything is obviously a big problem. That does not look good. Okay, terrain isn't really an issue because there's nothing much around us except for the ridge over there. Straight ahead, we've got the lodge. I don't think we can risk that. This cell that's coming over in front of us, I mean, look at that. We can't even see the parking anymore. So yeah, we're gonna have to chill out for a bit and wait. Okay, what I think we'll do then is we might as well taxi to the other end of the runway, because if we don't have to go this direction, we can actually take off opposite direction so we don't have a tailwind. Yeah, that's bad in front of us. If we had to fly into that, not gonna be fun. I mean, obviously there's no ILS, there's no instrument procedures, there's no VORs out here, it's all just visual. I mean, I'm not worried about, you know, getting into the clouds and falling out the sky. Like, we have instruments that'll allow us to keep flying, it's just that we can't see where we're going. So there are some mountains around here. We know about that kind of cliff along to our left, and so that's the biggest issue. And then the main problem being we won't be able to land. Like if we're coming in to land from that side now, there's no chance. But you saw how quickly that moved over. I mean, when we landed, it was nowhere. So if we give it a few minutes, we might actually be able to get out here. And in fact, we can't really see behind us, but it feels like it might be clearing out that way. If we can get out, there's a bigger gap there than there is there. Probably try and keep it on the runway here. If we can get out into that blue sky, we might be okay, because we're kind of heading over there. We've got loads of fuel on board, so I'm not stressed about running out of fuel. Also feel like this is moving off, because this here was kind of over the runway where we are now when we were at the other end. And now it's already moved over. We can see that that little hill where the lodge is. We can now actually see that in front of us, which we couldn't before. I think we might actually be able to get out from this runway and head out into that clear patch. Let's see when we turn around, you know, what it looks like. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's quite bad over there. See, so that's the issue there. There's not exactly much space to get around that because we need to go out that way. We could go out into that gap, turn and come back kind of over the airport. It's probably a little risky. I mean, in real life, I would honestly just sit and chill. Let's maybe see if we can make it through there. I think we can do that. Come back over the airport. So what we'll do is dial in our heading, because we can always chuck the autopilot on just to help us take some workload while we deal with weather. Right, let's see if we can make it out. Flaps are set for takeoff. So the other reason I'm keen to try and get out of here is I don't know when we'll get a gap again, because if you look to our left, it looks pretty thick there and it's coming in, so it might get kind of thick here for quite a long time, whereas at the moment we've got this little hole. Could we turn inside that? I think we can actually, because that's moving away from us to our right. Right, we actually aren't going that way because we're going to Migori first, which means we need to go to this side of this weather. Jeez, I'm all over the place today. Need to concentrate on where we're actually flying. Buffalo's back that side, so this is perfect. We can actually go through this little hole on our left here. Out. Oh wow, this is taking us... this GPS is actually setting us back to Buffalo. That says HKMM. Oh, it's just telling us the overall route. Okay, that is right, because I was going to say, it's definitely not the direction to go if we want to head to Buffalo. Okay, so about a 20-minute flight out to Migori. The main issue here being we need to get over that ridge. And it's amazing how these cells, just like these little clumps of, I mean, out here it's absolutely clear. I mean, there's clouds up there, but there's no rain or anything. It's just a patch of thick, thick rain. Let's get the autopilot on to take some of our workload away. That climb rate we need to actually bring down. We'll just do a leisurely 500 feet per minute. And we need to really keep an eye on that because we're already leading off a lot of speed to do that. Bring it down a bit. Get some speed back. Now you can really just see the line of the rain out there that we just came out of. So there's another cell over there, which is kind of where we're going after this, back to Buffalo. There's more rain out, just patches in kind of every direction. But hopefully we can get into Migori because it actually looks quite cloudy. It's kind of over there. I see what I mean by the climb rate. I mean, we're barely managing 300 feet per minute. What I'm gonna do is we can just keep this at 7.5. Otherwise, we're gonna take forever. So this is the other thing that makes me wonder if I'm doing something wrong. Is this manifold pressure is super low? Like, is that just how it is in the Islander and the Trilander? Because I mean, that feels like, I mean, I'm at full throttle. I can't push the throttles up any further, and that's the highest the manifold pressure goes. Maybe it does. Then why does the gauge go so high? Is it because we're of the altitude we're at? I don't know. It just seems kind of low to me. Right, so we've got a good 10-12 minutes to cruise along towards Migori, drop off some stuff, and then we'll take some other stuff that we've already loaded up. We'll take them back to Mara Buffalo, and we'll see if there's anything at Migori that needs to go to Mara Buffalo, and we can, if we've got space, maybe take some of that on board as well. Alright, let's disengage the autopilot. We've kind of weaved our way through a couple of cells along the way, but it's nice and clear looking out ahead towards the town of Migori. Our next challenge is to spot the airport, or the airstrip, should I say. In fact, I think that's it there. Yes, it is. Just join overhead, go around to the left, and land on the same, or in the same direction as we're going now. Okay, there's the windsock, so we are on the correct runway. was a terrible approach. Okay, I'm actually gonna go around here. So we overshot quite a lot, and now we're too high. So let's try that again. Nice and bouncy.
Nice landing, pilot. Transporter from dispatch. Clear the runway and taxi to parking.
Right, if I remember correctly, there is no like apron or anything. I think it's just like a little road at the end of the runway. Oh, not even. Okay, we'll just go here then. Okay, we'll get the doors open.
Transporter, disembarking of passengers can begin.
Okay, while those passengers are leaving, let's just see if we have anything from here to Mara Buffalo. We do actually have some cargo. Just gonna need to see if we can fit it in there. I don't think we're gonna have space because we've still got quite a few passengers on board.
Transporter from dispatch. Everyone is on board. Let's go.
Yeah, there's nothing really that we can actually fit in, so we're just gonna close up. External power on, let's get the mixtures back in. And we'll start up and get going straight away.
You're good to go. Contact the tower for clearance.
Right, I wonder if we can just take off on this runway. Should be okay. So I'd love to avoid having to taxi all the way back to the other end. It's gonna take forever. So I think we're probably fine to go from here. Okay, let's go full throttle, props are full, mixture's rich. Right, here we go. But I'm gonna check my flaps so I actually take off. Cool.
Pilot, have a nice flight.
Yeah, I think we'll head through that same gap over there. So we don't have to go over that high terrain. And then see if we can, once again, pick through these pockets of rain and make our way back to Mara Buffalo. Still got plenty of fuel. She was pretty much full when I picked her up at the airport, so... Right, so we're looking at about a 15 to 16 minute flight out to Buffalo. Okay, let's bring our props back a bit. Alright, now we'll just kind of settle in for our cruise and let's just keep an eye. The temperatures are all good. Everything looks good there as well. And once again, it's just going to be a case of picking our way through this this rain. Yeah, just over 14 minutes to go. The interesting thing now is going to be, can we actually get into Mara Buffalo? because when we left, that weather was closing in. We had a bit of rain on the windshield as we were taking off. So we're going to see now if it's moving in like all of this rain has been doing. Hopefully it's either moved past the airport or it's kind of dissipated a bit, because if it's like that, I don't think we're going to be able to get in. Okay, so we're about 2 minutes out, and there's an absolute wall of rain up ahead. I'm just not sure if it's over the airport or if the airport is just this side of it. Because I think, yeah, that the strip there? I think it is. Which means we can just about make it in there. Right, so it looks like we're actually going to be fine. So that storm has kind of, or it's not really a storm, no lightning or anything, but that rain has passed over since we left. Is that the right airport? Just the other side of the river. Yeah, it is. Okay, so it looks like we got pretty lucky with this one. Okay, so flaps are set, gears obviously already down, props and mixture full forward. Okay, the sun's starting to set, so I think what we're going to do is let's see if we've got anything going out to HK48, which is the other dirt airstrip out in the reserve. And then from there, see if we need anything heading back to Kilimanjaro, and we'll do the kind of long flight, because most of our aircraft are kind of stay at Kilimanjaro where there's hangars and stuff, obviously. Like out here, there's nowhere for them to kind of sleep. So we want to get it back to Kilimanjaro if we can. But here we are back at Mara Buffalo. Let's drop our passengers here.
Transporter, you can open the doors and begin the disembarkation. Okay, pilot. That's all the passengers off the plane. Thank you. Over and out.
All right, we've got some cargo
Let's get out of here.
that needs to go to HK48, and then we'll see from there. So let's load up our cargo. Oh, we can't actually fit it. Okay, so that load that needs to go is too big. Is there anything else? There's a couple of passengers. Okay, there we go.
Good day,
So
pilot.
let's see.
We have a lot of excited
We've still got
passengers ready to board
4
today.
seats
Let me know when you are ready for them.
available. Do we have any other passengers?
Captain, we have opened the gates for boarding. The passengers are on their way.
Yes, we do. There's another 3. Okay, so we've got 1 spare seat. That way that looks like it's closing in again in front of us. Right, so we'll see if we can get out here nice and quickly once again. And we need to go and set this.
Transporter from dispatch. It is passenger mission waiting for you. The boarding will start as soon as you are at the boarding parking. Transporter, boarding has started.
Okay, and it is HK48 that we're going to, which is Mosiara. Okay, fairly short flight again. That weather definitely feels like it's getting closer. And the sun is starting to set, so it's a beautiful
Ready for
early
engine
evening
start.
out here on the Masai Mara. Okay, let's close up the doors then, now that everyone's on board. Mixtures can go in. Turn on our power. And let's go ahead and start up the engines.
Everything looks good from where I'm sitting. Taxi to the runway and take off.
Oh, the rain's coming in again, so let's see if we can get out of here. Once again, this is what it's like in the Mara. Just constantly dodging the storms like this. I keep saying storms, it's actually not storming. It does often storm. This is not storms though. There's no lightning, no thunder. It's just these little like rain squalls. We've got a double rainbow over there, which is pretty cool. Going over to the left so we can go through that gap. Okay, here we go. The only thing that worries me now is I don't think we'd be able to get to Kilimanjaro before sunset, which is not an issue because Kilimanjaro's got runway lights and everything and an ILS, so we could go in there at night. Yeah, I always feel like I've got way less runway than I actually do because of that kind of hump in the middle of the runway. It makes you feel like it's the end, and then as you take off, you look down and you see, oh, there's still quite a bit of runway left. Right, that does not look good. We're gonna have to go to the left of that. We're not going to join our GPS route at the moment. Oof, I think this is going to take us too far. If we have to go around this, we're not going to be able to get back. We have to go all the way around like that. I think that rain is right over the airstrip that we're trying to get into. We're only 3 minutes away. I think this may be the flight where we can't actually get into where we're trying to go. We've got enough fuel to get from here back to Kilimanjaro, because with the sun setting and the rain behind us now that we just took off from, we probably can't get back into Buffalo either if we don't go right now. So this is going to start to get interesting. The most interesting part is that our passengers who wanted to go 5 minutes down the road are going to end up an hour away in Kilimanjaro if we can't make it in here. They're going to end up in a different country. So if we don't get in there in the next probably 10 minutes or so, it's going to be too dark anyway. I feel like it might be just this side of the rain, if not right on the edge, because this is the river over here with all the lodges and stuff, and it's kind of just out in this open patch. We're only a minute away. I think it's just in that rain patch. Actually turned this off earlier. Okay, we have HKKH on that side, which is open. There's nothing over that. So we can go in there if we need to. But here's the airport just here. There's the strip over there. Right, so let's see if we can get in there as quickly as possible. . there's the windsock. Wow, it's getting dark very quickly. Probably because of the clouds as well, making it worse, of course. Okay, I want to keep this turn nice and tight this time. Struggling to see the runway in this light, but I know it's just our side of that dam. Okay, there it is, I can see. Parking is all the way down at the end. I think it's at the end we're heading for, which will be great. I didn't see anything where we touched down. So it's going to be all the way at the end there. Welcome to... what on earth is that vehicle? It's like the knockoff Tesla Cyber van. Okay, but welcome to one of our other little airports. We are going to drop off our passengers as quickly as we can here. And then see how... I mean, the only airport we can really fly into at this time of day is going to be Kilimanjaro. The other ones are going to be really tough. Even getting in here was pretty tough with that lighting at the end there.
Transporter, you can open the doors and begin the disembarkation.
The sun actually seems like it's still pretty high in the sky. Or is that the sun? Seems like it's over there. It's obviously just the clouds. It feels very dark already. Right, we actually don't have any flights going from here back to Kilimanjaro. We have going back to Migori. We've got back to Buffalo. Oh, here we go. We have some staff that need to go back to Kilimanjaro. Let's load them up.
Transporter from dispatch. The passengers for the concert are waiting for you at the boarding parking.
They're also going to a concert. Fascinating.
Pilot from dispatch. Boarding passenger. Please stand by.
Right, so we now need to go to HT. Okay. If I knew the alphabet, this would be way easier.
Time to take off.
J. Kilimanjaro International. We can get rid of this because we don't need that anymore. Alright, the other thing I normally do is just load up the arrival. So the ILS 09, every single time I've landed at Kilimanjaro, it's been runway 9. I've never ever used a different runway. So let's load that up, and that looks good. So we're going to go straight to join that IF4 Kilimanjaro runway 9. Right, let's close up. It is really getting dark now. So let's get out of here.
You're good to go. Contact the tower for clearance.
The Cybervan is on the movie. I've never seen a vehicle like that in Flight Sim before. What the hell is that? Oh great, it's driving into me as usual. Right, let's get out of here. We're going to have to go through that. Huh. So, actually, now that I'm thinking about this, the issue that we're going to have going to Kilimanjaro in the Trilander is getting over that, like, 10,000 foot terrain. That's like 10, 15 minutes away from Kilimanjaro Airport. Most of the flights that I've done, including the flight that I did in the Kodiak, we go up to like 12,500 feet to make sure that everything's chilled. I don't know if we're going to get to 12,500 feet in the Trilander. So that's going to be the challenge on this flight, along with dodging all the weather. We might kind of just do this IFR, to be honest, and just go through the weather. So we're gonna have to get up to 10.5. And in fact, we're going east. So if we're gonna do this IFR, we would be at 11. Still says we're going to HTKJ, which we are not. But it's just the name of our flight. Okay, weather's closing in again. We're gonna have to go through that. Luckily, none of the weather that we've been in has been really like super crazy bumpy. There's no lightning or anything, so we should be okay. We do have to go all the way to the end of the runway. Did I come down and turn this off? No, I didn't. I think this is actually the longest runway out of all. No, I think Buffalo is longer than this one. But it is longer than Morris Arena, the dirt runway we took off from in the rain. So it should be pretty chilled getting out of here. But we're going to have to go through that at some point. By the looks of things, fairly shortly after we depart. Our minimum safe altitude to get into Kilimanjaro, we're actually going to have to be at about 12,000 feet. So going through at 11 means we're going to have to be very careful. And if it starts getting dark, we can't really just do the visual thing, because it's not 12,000 feet the whole way. It's just there's a couple of mountains along the way that we need to dodge. We can't do that in the dark. Okay, flaps are set for takeoff. Everything looks good. Temperatures are still fine. We don't need carb heat. I wonder if it's got something to do with the carb heat that our manifold pressure is as low as it is. But I mean, it's not in the yellow. Anyway. Let's get out of here. Our GPS is not showing our route. I think because we've loaded that procedure, something's not right with our engines. We're not getting full RPM. Oh, look at that. What's going on? This is not what we need right now. We'll head back and do some tests at the threshold. I might have to just put a bit of carb heat in there. Let's see if that helps. Feels still fine. This is very high. is it fine? And all the while we're doing this, the weather's... it doesn't actually seem like it's getting closer. It should be fine. Beautiful sunset though. Okay, so if we go all the way up to full throttle, props are full forward, we're only getting 15 instead of 25. Or we should be over 25, up to like 30. Is doing nothing. Damn, something is wrong. This feels very high. I don't think that's going to fix it. I'm just actually moving it out the way. I mean, it's not going to be icing, is it? We don't even have engine de-ice. It's just the props. How low the manifold pressure is. It's in 15. Look at that. It's coming up now. That makes no sense. That's it. It's the carb heat, but why do we need it so high? not staying. So maybe we had some build-up, and now it's fine. That bumping the heat up got rid of it, even though we weren't in the yellow. Right, but we've got power. Let's go. Oh, that cost us a significant amount of time. That weather's actually moving away from us. Okay, we're finally now on our way to Kilimanjaro. So we're going to aim for just to the right of that cell. And then what I was about to say before I realized that we had an engine issue is we don't have a line on our GPS because it's loaded that procedure. But what we'll do is get to a reasonably stable setup, and then we'll go direct to that initial approach fix for the ILS, and that'll then give us, so if we go here, dial that and go direct and activate that, we should now have a line, and we can engage our autopilot, nav mode, and just do a slow climb up at 600 feet, definitely not 6,000. Right, which is going to take us through this weather. So let's actually, I'm interested to see what this is like, because I don't think it's super intense. Actually, just in case, I'm going to give each of our engines a little bit of temperature. So I need to go and check out on this carb heat stuff and see, because I didn't think that that would give us any problems when we're not in that yellow zone. That's the whole point of the yellow zone. Okay, there we are in the rain now. And we are now pretty much already IFR at this point. Or IMC, I should say. Okay, then we definitely need some better instrument lighting. Is this all we've got? I'm sure we have a dome light or something. That's on as far as it goes. Well, I don't think we actually need this, to be fair. Pretty much coming out on the other side of that now already. Okay, it would appear that that is all we get in terms of lighting. I really thought there would be like a dome light or something at least. I think those are little lights that in reality you can turn that on. There we go. Yeah, that's helped a little bit. It's just a bit of red lights as well. Is there one on this side too? No. Just that one. We also have down here cabin lights, which turns, oh, that turns those on for everyone. Okay. Okay, ever so slowly making our way up to 11,000 feet. About an hour and a half from here to Kilimanjaro. Once we actually get to 11,000 feet, if we get to 11,000 feet, that time will come down a bit as we speed up. I'm climbing at about 100 knots. Our temperature say 10 degrees. Normally at this point, this is where I would kind of just leave the plane and stop talking to you guys and let it do its thing. But because of our climb rate here, I'm going to have to keep an eye on this because we're sitting at 100 knots, but that can change very, very quickly. We're at 9,000 feet. So should be okay. I've never actually checked. Is this aircraft even pressurized? I don't think it is. Okay, so it has a ceiling of 13,160 feet. We should be fine at 11. Right, looks like we are through the rain, at least for a while. We're past 10,000 feet, or we're coming through 10,000 feet now. So let's turn off the landing lights. Okay, our speed is now bleeding off a little bit worryingly quickly. this is my next concern now, is as we get higher and we get into the evening, is that we don't run into any icing conditions with all this moisture around. Because with the limited amount of kind of extra power that we have on this aircraft, if we run into icing like now, we're in big trouble. Not like we can really see very much out there. Yeah, I mean, that all looks clean. Which makes sense because we're still positive in terms of temperature. But there's a chance that that's going to drop quite quickly as it gets later into the evening. So we've still got an hour and a half to go. We're coming up to 11,000 feet now, which means we can level off and start our cruise. Okay, and let's bring our props back a little. Now we can settle into our cruise now. Okay, as the speed comes up nicely, we're now down to about an hour's flight time. We're all good in terms of weather, although we just hit a significant bump over there. We should be fine in terms of terrain. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But let's do a bit of a cruise onto Kilimanjaro, and I'll join you guys again when it's time to start our descent and prep for landing. Alright, so welcome to Tanzania. We had to do a little bit of a diversion, not a diversion, just a little change to our route. So I put in Umtad as this waypoint here so that we could miss Mount Meru, which is there. Because Mount Meru sits at about 15,000 feet, so we need to stay away from that. This is the town of Arusha below us. So now I'm just going to reactivate our waypoint to get us back onto the ILS. And we can also descend to 6,100 feet. Yeah, it looks like we've passed pretty much all of the weather. It's a little hazy over the city. There's some clouds. That's Kilimanjaro out that way. Some clouds out in the distance, but nothing really that's gonna bother us. Okay, the other thing we need to do is just dial in our ILS frequency. So we have 11090 that is set correctly. And then we need a course of 88 degrees. That'll be something like that. Yeah, and then what I'm going to do is let's stick this guy on. So 90, 100, 110. We're just under 110. So this is a bit over. Oh, this doesn't have any. So it's about there. Right, so then actually what I want to do is let's just come down here and set this heading bug, and then we'll flip it into heading mode so that we can do this, switch that back to VR. Right, there's the runway out there. Okay, so once we get a little closer, we'll go and arm our approach mode. It looks like we're coming nicely onto the glide slope now as well. Okay, let's go props full forward and mixtures full forward as well. Okay, let's arm approach mode. Cool, and we're picking it up there, 11.6 miles to go. If I check here, should be joining at 8 miles. Actually, it's a bit further than that. It's probably about 9. Maybe even 10. Yeah, there comes the needle. Okay, localizer captured. Oh, I didn't actually arm this. So we went below the 6,100. We're at 5,100 now. So that was pretty bad. Okay, we've captured the glide slope as well now. Seven miles to go. Missed approach altitude 6,500. Start slowing down now so we can get flaps in. Obviously gear's already down. Okay, landing lights can come on. You can see with the landing lights that it is kind of hazy outside. Five and a half miles. Minimum's 3,132 feet, so call it 3,200. Four and a half miles. Three miles to go. Wow, we're way off the glide slope. That's better. 2 white, 2 red. We're back on the glide slope. We're on the localizer. The runway's in sight. A little low again. There's minimums, and we're continuing. Ooh. Welcome to Kilimanjaro. I'm going to leave the landing lights on because this aircraft doesn't have taxi lights. And you'll see if we switch them off, no idea where we're going, so we will keep them on. I think this is the first time I've ever flown into Kilimanjaro at night, actually. As far as I can remember. Probably switch off the landing lights once we get onto the apron there, because it's obviously nicely lit. We'll park there by the marshallers because that's actually perfect for us. Oh, they're facing the other way. Oh no.
Okay, pilot, the guests are leaving the aircraft now.
Right, well, we can go ahead and shut everything down then while they're leaving. It's going to get pretty dark in here. Oh no, actually we're parked right under this floodlight, so we should be fine. Alright, but there we are, safely arrived at Kilimanjaro International in this, one of the most unique aircrafts
Transporter from dispatch.
I've ever flown.
Disembarkation completed. Thank
And
you.
certainly the
See you
most
soon
unique
for another mission.
that we've flown in the Neofly series so far. that is going to bring us to the end of episode 7. Episode 8, we'll be starting off from here at Kilimanjaro. We'll probably do like a nice early morning flight up into the Mara, but we'll see what kind of things we need to be doing when it's time to record that video. A couple of options: we can take the Dash 7 up into the Mara, which will be kind of cool, because I haven't flown the Dash 7 on this channel yet. But we could also be doing some cargo runs in the Caribou, and possibly flying the ATR. I've got a Highliner ATR, so that's the kind of business version of the ATR that operates from here into some of the bigger airports. But I'm waiting to fly the ATR. I believe that FS2Crew for the ATR is going to be coming out sometime soon, so that'll be really cool. Once we have FS2Crew for the ATR, then I can jump in and do a bit more flying with the ATR. But anyway, that is going to bring us to the end of episode 7. If you did enjoy it, you know what to do down below. Follow the series. I try to post a Neofly video every Tuesday evening, so South African time evening, 7 o'clock. But otherwise, if you did enjoy it, you know what to do down below, and I'll see you in the next one.